going to talk with you about one of the procedures we will follow at the end of every quarter. It involves self-reflection on your part, which will help you decide what types of goals you have for next quarter. You will need your reading requirements, reading log, red notebook, a pencil, and of course your computer. Please remember to pause and rewind this video as often as you need to. Let's start with the first procedure, filling out your reading requirements. You will look at each of the 6 boxes and reflect how you did in each area. Starting with the first box in the upper left-hand corner, decide how well you did with maintaining your reading log this quarter. Read each description, then put a light check mark with your pencil next to the 5, the 3, or the 1, depending on the score you believe you have earned. It's also okay to write a 4 or a 2 on the line if you feel you have an in-between score. Please remember to use a light pencil mark. You and I will make that more permanent when we meet in a conference. Do the same for each of the remaining boxes, remembering to use a light pencil mark. When you get to the 6th box in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll need to take a look at our cafe menu. You can use the actual menu on the bulletin board, the cafe menu in your notebook on page 6, or this picture on my website. And I believe if you double click on this picture, you can get a larger picture to come up. It takes a little bit here. Okay, and if that doesn't work on your computer, it may be best just for you to use the actual menu in our classroom or the one in your reading notebook. So when you are looking at the 6th box and looking at the cafe menu, you're going to decide on 2 cafe strategies that you feel you've used pretty effectively during the quarter. And you're going to list the strategy and explain how you used it. And again, you'll do this twice for 2 different strategies. So let's say that I have feel like I've used this strategy, recognize literary elements, which is probably one of the first strategies we put on our cafe menu. So I would write the strategy in this spot. Recognize. And of course you'll be writing, I'm typing just because it's easier for this particular lesson. I'm going to separate that from the actual document. Okay, and then on your reading requirements paper, you have a spot where you are going to explain how you use the strategy. And the key here is to explain how you used it. Please avoid explaining to me what the strategy is. I already know what the strategies are. I want you to talk with me in writing about how you use them. Kind of tough to explain that in such a short spot, or you only have, what, 1.5 lines there. Please feel free to go over into the margin to write if you need to, or even to the back side, and I apologize for the short spot to write. So how would I explain the strategy that I use, recognize literary elements? Well, gosh, when I'm reading, a lot of times I think of those elements throughout my reading. So I might write something like let's go ahead and set that off with a different font size so it's easier for you guys to see. There we go. When I read, I think about, oh gosh, I definitely think about the characters. Not so much setting, although that thought does cross my mind. I spend most of my time reading thinking about characters, the problem, the solution, and I'm often thinking about the theme, what the author was trying to teach me as he or she wrote the book. So that's what one of your strategies might look like. And now you'll come to the 2nd spot. You'll look at that cafe menu again. List a 2nd strategy that you found yourself using a lot during the quarter. Write it out on that line. And then again, write out your explanation on the 2nd line. That explanation, one more time, is about how you use the strategy, not what the strategy is. Please ignore the remaining writing in that box. that would be used if for some reason you didn't explain 2 strategies, and we know that each one of you will. So this is just a score keeping mechanism that you don't really have to worry about. When you have finished writing out your 2 strategies and explanations, and you have marked your score that you believe you've earned in every other box, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and close up your computer. Don't do that yet until you're done listening to instructions here, but you're going to place your reading requirements and reading log back in your folder. You'll neatly place your headphones back in your baggie, place them in alphabetical order in the appropriate bin, which should be located on top of your computer cart. Then you may choose a comfortable spot around the room for a daily 5 round. You won't report in to me today. We will use what you've done on this reading requirements document in a conference that will have you and me in the next 2 weeks. Thank you.